Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you have. And astrology is a good tool to kind of see what you have, what you can heal. So just to get like a basic understanding, imagine these are my 12 houses, right? My 360 astrological wheel. I am a Virgo rising, so that means that my first house is Virgo. So Virgo is my first house. So my personality, my surroundings, everything is going to be like the archetype of Virgo. So what is Virgo? Analytical, very Mercurian, like always thinking, always analyzing, very practical. So that's where my first house is. But then we have every sign follows, right? So Libra, Scorpio, and so on and so forth. So this would be my 360 wheel. This is my life situations throughout my life. So now I have to see, okay, I told you guys before, my sun is in Pisces. So where does my sun fall in my zodiac wheel? It falls in the 7th house. So then my sun would be most seen in the house of the 7th house. Because my planet, my sun sign, is showing light in that sign. So that's why I would differ from a Libra. If I was a Libra rising, then my sun sign would be in the 6th house instead of the 7th house. Well, actually, because of the degree, my sun falls in the 6th house, but that's so much more in depth. And there's asteroids such as Chiron and the moon that are very, very important to understand where you need healing. For instance, I have my moon. My moon is here. It actually is in Capricorn, but it falls in Sag because of my degree, 6th degree Capricorn. So then it falls in my 4th house because it didn't reach the degree. But this is just an understanding. So see, my moon, which is my emotions, the way I react to things, the way I feel about things, is in the 4th house. I don't usually show that. I don't like to show that. But look at me, now I'm showing my opinion and stuff in YouTube. But usually with my emotions, I tend to be really pent up and I wouldn't really talk about them or what I felt. I was pretty Saturnian-like with how I felt. But then my sun is in the 7th house, which is actually in the 6th house. But then these two houses would be illuminated. Why? Because the sun and the moon are the luminaries and they work hand in hand. The sun, rising, and moon are the most important. That's why I kind of want to break this down. This is where my first house starts at. So my persona, my personality, everything that surrounds me, that's going to be Virgo-like. Then my 2nd house, which are values, the things I have to offer to the world. The 2nd house is really, really in-depth. There's a lot of controversy that it's associated a lot with money, but the 3rd house, your surroundings, my surrounding was like Scorpio-like. I have a lot of friends that are Scorpio. And then my 4th house is Sag, and then so forth. And you can do that with your astrological map. And this is just a basic understanding of how complex astrology actually is, but how important it is as a tool to understand. Because now, for me, for the example I gave, my moon is in the 4th house and my sun is it's actually in the 6th house. But then I know I could use my sun, which my sun is what I have to work on, what I shed light on, which is the 6th house. So it's work, health, routine, what I do in an everyday basis. I have an opportunity, because it's sextiling my moon, to use that with my moon and find like a comfort thing to do every day, and apply it in my work space. That makes me feel comfortable. That's because my moon is sextile my sun. So I tend to give this sort of like more comforting presence at times, but sometimes I could be more reserved. Just to see how unique everyone is. Right now, I'm just showing my moon and my sun, which my sun is here, but I have my Venus, which is the way I feel about things, the way I love, appreciate, what I value, which is my 5th house. I have my Mars, which is my 4th house. Then I have my Saturn, my Jupiter. All of these planets build up who I am. And they're all spread throughout my life houses. Each house should be seen as a life situation. So the first house, even though I have it in Virgo, the first house is correlated with Aries because it's the beginning of something, is the I am. So that's why when I say Virgo is my personality, Virgo would be my ascendant, my persona, my personality, because it's basically the I am. Everything that surrounds me. When I was born, I am. My first breath, I am. And then the wheel starts. And it's not like a life-death thing. It's just how we see things and how we can utilize our life situations to get a sort of understanding of our personality and how to work with ourselves. And not to get too lost on this, but it's a great tool to understand yourself. And I'm going to go more in depth in other videos. But I want to break down astrology. I might do a little series because I think it's a very, very important tool psychologically. And this is what this channel is about. So it's really easy to get your birth chart. Go to AstroSeek, just put your birth time, the day where you were born. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I can leave the link down to how to get your birth chart. And let me know if you guys want to see more of this. Sorry if it was a little chaotic, but yeah. Remember, you're so unique because all of us have different aspects, different things, and that shape us. Just a little reminder, and astrology is a good reminder of that. Like, we're not just all doing the same thing. We're all doing, no. See, I shine more where? At Pisces. But what? But I have my moon and Capricorn. So I have to utilize my moon with Pisces and combine that and combine those energies and use those energies. Just like you might have a sun in Libra, then you shed light on your relationships and you're a great communicator and we all have very different things. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you have. And astrology is a good tool to kind of see what you have, what you can heal,